Today on a Taco Tuesday edition of DNVR Buffs Live, the quiet playmaker who could be getting the ball a lot more this week. Let's talk about it.
Buff Nation,
Let's go!
Squad! Welcome in to another week of DNVR Buffs Live. We're coming to you live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Week 5 now. BYU on Saturday. Coach Prime presser today. We got a commit today. Oh boy, how we feeling?
Roughing it.
Oh my God.
Feeling great other than this weather. I was into it in the morning. Now I'm over it.
Yeah.
It's Taco Tuesday.
It is Taco Tuesday.
I'm feeling great. I'm not gonna lie. A lot to get into today. A great day in Buff Nation land.
Buff Nation land.
Did I just make that up?
Yeah, you did. It's actually an accidental callback to a John Elway quote, because Broncos fans hate if someone says Bronco Nation. It's Broncos country.
Okay.
And then John Elway definitely was just like, I know I'm not supposed to say nation. He's like, it's a big day in Bronco land.
We had a few slips on
Shut
the
up,
podium
John.
these days.
The goat slip up on the podium is the day they fired John Fox. John Elway goes to the podium and goes, I just want to thank John Elway for everything he did.
No! Yes! Yes!
And he goes, I mean John Fox.
That's hilarious.
All right, what's up, chat? How y'all doing today? Today on the show, Mike Gundy. It happened. Finally fired. We'll get into that. Emanuel Ruffin has committed to the Buffs. Crazy that that's like third on this show, but such as the in-season shows when a blue chip player commits. And then Coach Prime's presser. Quite a lot to get to from that. Obviously, injury updates on Jordan Seaton and all the guys who walked off the field on Saturday night. Transfer portal changes, playing BYU, playing at night, all that good stuff.
Shout out to Rodney McCall, who just became a member of the Supporters Club.
Squad.
Appreciate you, bro. Where do you want to start with Coach Prime today? The injuries, I guess?
Yes, let's start there.
So, yeah, man, they got kind of beat up on Saturday.
Yeah.
Jordan Seaton didn't finish the game. I don't think Zai finished the game either. Lots of guys. DeKalin Taylor didn't finish the game. Simeon Price didn't finish the game. RJ didn't even suit up.
Right.
Sam Okunlola hasn't suited up. BDS didn't suit up. And there's probably even more. But Coach Prime was very optimistic after the game on Saturday. And he's still optimistic overall, I think. But here's what he had to say about the injuries and the update on them.
You know, I cried to you before I lied to you. We're expecting Seaton and Zai to play. Other guys we don't know. DT and Simeon, we don't know. We're hoping to get back Swain as well. I don't know about Okunlola. Did I say that right? Sammy. I just say Sammy. All right, it's just Sammy. Okay. And RJ, we don't know. But the two big linemen, we plan on seeing them. But we've made adjustments in the running back room as well.
You mentioned adjustment to the running back room. Is that going to be a way that maybe you get the ball in Drelon Miller's hands more?
Well, we plan on doing some things.
So there you go. Obviously, the running backs are pretty banged up. You got Dallin back last week, but if you're down Simeon and DeKalin Taylor, those are your change of pace, receiving backs that you've just lost. And I mean, it's a natural question with Drelon there. We've talked about that a lot this offseason.
Yeah, and that's the basis of our headline today, the quiet playmaker who is in line for a lot more touches this week. I think that's going to be the answer, is lining up Dre out of the backfield, using some of the stuff that you used with him last year. He does some stuff out of the backfield that, at least with Shedeur, I felt like Shedeur really trusted him on those routes.
Yeah.
Whereas he might not have trusted the running backs as much, but like even just like running out of the backfield, going over the ball, turning around, stopping, Shedeur was always excited to throw that to Drelon. That's the type of stuff you can do with him that maybe even you're not quite as comfortable doing with DeKalen Taylor because of his size and being behind the line like that. Drelon off to a weird start to the season.
Off,
where it doesn't feel like he's fully in a rhythm. Maybe just giving him the ball and just letting him go make plays could kind of unlock him.
Yeah, I would like to see it. Like you said, it's been a bit of a rocky start for Drelon to start this year after, a lot of, buzz from, his teammates, his coaches, and even us in the media this offseason after a pretty impressive true freshman campaign. But yeah, they're going to have to get creative probably, especially if Simeon and Trackhawk aren't active for this weekend. Obviously, Mike is going to continue to be the lead back, but behind him, if you can get Drelon in there for a handful of reps, whether it be in a true running back role or kind of that kind of quasi kind of running back receiver kind of look out of the backfield. And you mentioned his running routes out of the backfield. We saw like a lot of that, talking about Shedeur, during the pro day.
Yeah.
That's where kind of he was running routes from all over, but a good amount of him running routes out of the backfield as well. And he looked really sharp. Like that's an obvious natural part of his game, the pass catching part, and the power that he brings running behind his pads. Like dudes just really bounce off of him when he has the ball in his hands. I wonder if Isaiah Harge could potentially be involved in this kind of role as well. Like we've seen Isaiah Harge line up at running back for this team and have success. Granted, it wasn't a spring game. I think he might have got at least one carry last year during the regular season
Against Utah, I want to say.
for sure, maybe in Oklahoma State. But that's obviously something that Isaiah Harge has in his bag as well. So I'm really excited to see how they kind of get creative with this, especially if Simeon and DT don't play. Hopefully, at least one of them are back healthy this week and being able to active. But I think the biggest news is out the gate there at the top, like having your best player on your team active for a big game against BYU, the best player being the franchise Jordan Seaton. Like that's massive, and hopefully having Zai back as well. Having your starting offensive line back, that's big news because obviously, the news yesterday of, Seat dealing with that hamstring and, his status being questionable. It sounds that Coach Prime doesn't sound too worried about his status for Saturday.
Well, and real quick, one guy that we didn't necessarily mention there who I kind of forgot until the chat brought it up, Cam Michael worked at tailback some in the spring. Am I right?
They've been moving him around a ton.
Yeah,
I want to say that he.
I remember
couple
practice
days.
with Falk. I remember practice.
And wasn't
with
he
Falk,
asked? Wasn't Pat Shermer asked about it?
Yeah, and Shermer shut it down.
I asked him about it,
Yes.
and he did not give me anything.
Well, no, he said he's going to be a wideout for us.
Yes,
Right.
Yes.
But the wideout room is incredibly crowded, and
really is.
there's not even enough footballs to go around for all those guys right now. So if you can get a guy like Cam some action in a game by lining him up in the backfield, that could be interesting as well.
Yeah, I mean, someone mentioned in the chat, Drelon is going through a little bit of a sophomore slump. I think this is great for him, honestly. Like, kind of just, different, like setting different type of preparation for him. And it's obviously drops that he struggled with. What easier way than just putting the ball right in his gut? You know what I mean? So, yeah, we've seen it from him. We've been waiting for this for a long time. It's a little overdue, I'd say, but he's got it in him to make an impact. Plus, you can do all sorts of stuff with shifts with him out there if you want to move him out. So hopefully you see a little, even more creativity from the offense this week. And that's because Drelon's just such a Swiss Army knife. He's going to help open a lot of stuff up.
And he's a walking mismatch. Like
he is, yeah.
He's too shifty and quick for linebackers. He's too damn big for safeties and corners. And you just got to get him in advantageous situations, especially in a week like this week where BYU has one of the best defenses, not in the Big 12, but in the entire country. So the more you can get Drelon involved in space with the ball in his hands, with the full head of steam, the better this offense is going to be about. And, he talked about it a little bit this offseason, I think right before the season, where he was like, that was part of his plan in his preparation for this season, like bulking up a little bit, it takes some hits at running back. He talked about this, so maybe we'll see it as soon as this week.
And like I just like to see them use him in that just I don't even know how to say this, but like that play that they love to run where it's like a fake and then they have someone out in the flat.
Yes.
Flip it to him. Like that should be Drelon.
Totally.
Like I'd love to see him on some of the like lead, like coming around as the fill block coming across the thing, and then you can slip him. Like
That first one you mentioned, they ran that twice this year with Sincere as kind of that leaker out in the flat, and it's like that shouldn't be for Sincere.
Yeah.
Get him vertical down the field. Like that's a play for Drelon. You know what I'm saying?
and I get
agree.
the thought process. Like you get Sincere ahead of steam. He's one of the
Exactly.
fastest guys
Open
in the
field,
country.
totally.
But he's not as elusive
in the short
in
area.
evading tackles
Right.
and that sort of thing. So yeah, like get it to Drelon, let him try to make someone miss or run someone over.
Exactly.
Turn that into a gain.
Totally. And like Sincere takes a hit below the waist, like he's probably going down. You know what I mean? Like unless he
Yeah.
jumps over someone.
Yeah,
I think.
because he's like a redwood tree.
I was gonna say a gazelle, but
Yeah, Gazelle is what I used the other night. By the way, second fastest player in the country,
yeah. So really,
behind only Nick Harbor last week.
who was known for
Yeah, track speed.
exactly.
yeah. Real Analytics put out the tweet. 0.1 of a mile an hour behind him too. Like he's right there.
And both of them right in line with Ralphie,
Right.
who's clocked at 22 miles per hour. Now, they didn't have on ESPN the point. So we don't know if she,
Yeah.
she could have got 22.5.
The like videos on the fields, like field level of her getting out the gate, like really show how fast this Ralphie is.
How about Sincere getting out the gate, too? Like,
Yeah.
when
Sure.
he started running down that sideline, I was like, oh, my God. I couldn't believe the way he just erased the tackling angles.
Yep.
And somebody mentioned it too, like he's not even really running with like real form. Like he's just straight up speed. Like if somebody can just get his form down, like I assume when he gets ready to run a 40, next spring going into the NFL draft, he'll kind of log in on that, and that could really get him to that 4.3 range.
Sincere
clocked in.
kind of has like a backyard football
Yes.
vibe about it.
Hell yeah.
Totally.
Hell yeah.
Totally. I mean, there's a lot of good players on this graphic for the fastest players of week 4.
For sure.
Sincere's up there, man.
And when I saw that, I was reminded of Scotty's like hot take when we all did a hot take prediction before the season, and you had Sincere being the first Buff drafted as your hot take.
Facts.
And like when I saw that number come up right behind Nick Harbor, I was like, that's the path.
Exactly.
That's the path. And obviously,
He's
going out there
6'5",
and
running
making
like
big
that.
plays.
Yeah.
No, he's like that, man. We spoke to him today on the podium as well. We'll talk a little bit about what he had to say, but we'll get back to Coach Prime on the other side of this break. And shout out to new friends over at the Colorado Soccer Association. It's the official hub for 65 plus soccer clubs across the state, offering programs for youth players, adult players, coaches, refs, and families who just want to get involved in the game. Kids can kick off their journey as young as 3 years old. I remember did you guys play soccer when you were a little one?
Yeah, hated it.
My dad always called it the beehive because there's one ball and you just saw all the players on the field just running around that ball. But yeah, it's a good time, man. Be a part of history with the 2026 World Cup coming to the U.S. and a new National Women's Soccer League team, Denver Summit FC, joining Colorado. There's never been a more exciting time to play, cheer, and be a part of the soccer buzz. If you want to get involved, visit coloradosoccer.org to find a club near you and be a part of the future of the game.
Just to be clear, I hated it because I was bad at it.
It wasn't fun until you guys until we started like learning how to play soccer.
Yeah.
And that's when it's like, okay, I see it.
Also, shout out to our friends over at Taco Bell. You guys will get a little bit of a up-close look at this later, but the big box of nachos with 2 times the protein is back just in time for football season. It's loaded with warm, crispy tortilla chips and 2 portions of slow-roasted chicken or seasoned beef. You're also getting refried beans, warm nacho cheese, a shredded blend of mozzarella, pepper jack, and cheddar cheeses, freshly prepared pico de gallo, reduced fat sour cream, and guacamole made with Hass avocados. Nothing beats this power-packed lineup. Shout out to Taco Bell, and of course, as you guys know, they're donating $1,000 to the Golden Buffalo Scholarship Fund every time CU puts that ball in the box in 2025. Go Buffs and Liv Moss.
All right, going back to Coach Prime's presser, Scotty, you asked about it, Kaidon Salter, and just, first time we really got to hear Coach Prime after looking at the film and all that,
Right.
just his assessment. What'd you ask exactly?
Yeah, I mean, I just asked him about what was the biggest difference from his perspective in the Kaidon we saw in week 1 and a little bit in week 2 versus the Kaidon we saw, on Saturday versus Wyoming. Because after the game Saturday, Coach Prime said it's not like we called different plays, right? So I wanted to ask him what he saw in the differences in Kaidon from early in the season to on Saturday.
Certainty. If you're going to run. If you're going to throw. Certainty, not, I don't know what I'm going to do. Running with a confidence like I'm running, not running, I'm going to get hit. He made up his mind to do what he needed to do, and he did it. Like whatever, the Bible says, whatever your hands find to do it with all your might. And we're hoping that we have a consistency, and not just Kaidon, but everyone, do it with everything you got. And I think you just seen a kid just hit another switch and say, I got to get this together, and I got to play up to my ability.
First off, shout out to Diallo. We'll see you this weekend at the tailgate, bro. But
I think certainty is a synonym for a word we used a lot on this show when talking about Kaidon Salter in this situation. Decisiveness. That's a synonym of what Coach Prime just said. And like I said, what we've been talking about since that Georgia Tech game with Kaidon. And it's what we saw on Saturday against Wyoming, right? There was decisiveness in every decision he made, whether it was taking off the run, whether it was extending the play and finding Sincere Brown on the scramble drill. He was confident in what he was seeing out there. And again, it looked like the 2023 Kaidon, and it was his first 300-yard passing game since 2023. There's only one quarterback, FBS quarterback this season, who has 300 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 80 rushing yards, and 1 rushing touchdown in a single game. It's Kaidon Salter. Only FBS quarterback this season to put up that stat line in a game. And granted, a lot of people, it was filled in my mentions this week. It was just Wyoming. Well, we get to see him against a really good defense.
They weren't saying that against Delaware, though, so you don't get to use that excuse.
I'm not even gonna go there, bro. I'm just not even gonna go there. I'm gonna leave that alone. But like I said, he's gonna have another opportunity to build on that against a really, really good defense this weekend. And if he plays similarly or even better, this Colorado team is gonna have a really good chance to beat a ranked opponent at home at the crib. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It's interesting because. If you saw it, if I saw it, if Jake saw it, if Coach Prime saw it, if Brock Osweiler on the broadcast saw it, something was different.
Yes.
A lot of people are trying to say this is the exact same guy. Nothing changed. It's like, I don't know, man. A lot of us saw something different, and that's okay. Like it's not any sort of referendum on what happened to the rest of the season. Like you can debate till the cows come home about how the quarterback situation was handled, but. Something changed in Kaidon, to my eyes, on Saturday night, and it was that. It was, you know what? I've got Omarion down there in one-on-one coverage. I'm going to throw it up and give him a shot.
Yes.
And throw it up into a great spot, by the way. I got JoJo Williams down there. Heck, he's not even really open at all.
For real.
But I believe in him.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give him this shot. I don't know if you guys saw the back angle on the play to Sincere. Did you see Kaidon whispering to him with body language?
Where he's like this. Yeah.
I was like, this. I've never seen someone so subtly use body language. But he could see all that green grass. He's like, go that way. All of that was just what we were saying is just cut it loose, man. Just go play, go be you.
Yes.
Even the undesigned runs that he had were very much okay, it's not here, I'm going. And I love to see it. And you mentioned we're gonna get a chance to see if he could do it against a legitimate defense this weekend. Not to get into my scout of BYU quite yet, but I came away from it thinking to myself, this is a Kaidon game. He's going to have to put the team on his back this weekend. I don't think this is a game where you could go out there and just lean on the run. I have a feeling that BYU is going to have a plan to be able to stop that up. He's going to have to go and make some of those off-script plays.
Definitely.
And boy, do I feel really, really confident that he's going to be able to do that.
100%. He has to. If this team wants to get to where they originally thought they could get before the year started, that's what it was based on, was Kaidon just being a complete dual threat, right?
Most definitely.
But yeah, we'll talk a lot more, as you said, about BYU as we get into the week. But here's what Coach Prime had to say about, obviously it's another 8:15 game, kind of the schedule type of stuff with practice and all that, and also just some quick thoughts on him on BYU.
Yeah, we made plans to keep similar schedules. it impacted us tremendously because we understood how to turn our bodies off and on. The kids understood that they needed rest because of the night game so they could come out and have a great start. And although we got some penalties up front defensively, they came out with energy. Offensively, we came out with energy, and that's what we want to do, especially at home. No, they mean a lot. Every game means a lot. This conference game means more. But, yeah, it's not like we ain't with that get-back stuff. I ain't with that get-back stuff. I'm with that let's get them stuff. So they played their butts off, kicked our butts in the bowl game. Now we have a whole new team. They have a similar team as well with up under new management, meaning quarterbacking. And this is a good team, well-coached team, disciplined team. We got to be a lot more disciplined, not some of the pass interference, the PIs that we had and the stupid penalties that we had, unnecessary roughness. We got to stop all that foolishness and play a consistent game, prayerfully penalty-free.
There you go. Have the night game issues been solved?
We'll see.
We will see.
It was just Wyoming. One thing that I think, if I were in Coach Prime's position, or really in anyone's position on this coaching staff, I would be taking this one a little more personally, because I going back to our post-game show from after the Alamo Bowl, I think one of our biggest takeaways was they were outcoached.
Completely outcoached.
And there's no shame in being outcoached by Kalani Sitake and that staff. By the way.
But to a lot of teams.
Fantastic football staff. But I would be looking at this one as get back, get them, whatever you want to call it. I got to get mine this time. I'm not going to let them out-coach us, out-scheme us the way they did last time. And bowl games are weird in that way. Like, I think if you could have if you could watch 3 practices of both teams leading up to a bowl game, you could probably get 90% hit rate on betting. Sure. There's just some teams who are more locked in than others. And I think it was very clear that BYU was out there to send a message. They were incredibly locked in, and for whatever reason, we weren't. But this one is one where if I was on this coaching staff in any position, I would want to make sure that didn't happen again. And not to say that they don't. I'm sure they do.
Yeah. On the topic of kind of the night practices to get ready for a night game, that's something we talked about earlier in the week that, I said I wanted to see is them do that. And they did it twice last week, and obviously the results were what they were. I think the biggest takeaway was that they were able to start that game fast. Yeah. Right? Colorado scored on 3 of their first 4 possessions. Defensively, they started really fast, aside from the penalties early on, forcing Wyoming into punts on their opening 2 drives. And that's what this team is going to need again on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Get an early lead, start fast, put Bear Bachmeier, true freshman quarterback, behind the sticks, make him play from behind, something that I don't think BYU has done at all this year through 3 weeks. And that's going to be uncharted territory for them and for their quarterback. Like, he has yet to play from behind on the road in front of a crowd like he's going to see on Saturday night at Folsom Field. So who talked about it today as well? I think it was Amari. Amari was like, starting fast is a big thing for us again this week, and it's got to be. That's got to be a consistent theme for this team, because certainly they didn't do it against BYU last time they played them, and that's what I think ended the game was over. I think at the end of the first quarter, with how BYU came out and with how Colorado came out, completely different on opposite ends of the spectrum. That can't happen again on Saturday. And to your point, it really falls a lot on the coaches, right? Yeah. Because Kalani Sitake is one of the best coaches in college football. Their offensive coordinator, Aaron Roderick, is one of the most creative offensive coordinators and play callers in college football. So Robert Livingston, Pat Shermer, the rest of that staff gots to bring their A game. Yeah.
You ever seen one of those UFC fights where the guys go into knock fists at the center of the ring, the other guy just comes in with a flying knee, and the fight's just over?
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
I mean, and it all started with Ralphie. Sorry.
It did.
Totally.
That's not going to happen this time.
Yep.
The energy is going to be there. Ralphie's going to set it off, and you have a home crowd behind you this time, which will really help, I think, especially when it comes to playing defense.
Totally. I mean, I said it last week. Like, I don't want to hear any more excuses about the night games, and they kind of shut me up with that. But you got to back that up again. And also, you kind of know what you're going into this time. Last year, BYU obviously wasn't on the schedule. I mean, you did have extra time to prepare for the bowl game, as always, but you did get out coached. So you know what to expect. You know they're going to throw a trick play or two at you. You know that they're going to get very creative in how they use Bear Bachmeier and how they get him to be successful, put him in position to succeed. So they're just you have to continue this. No excuses. Like, you know exactly what you're going to get. Basically, you've faced this team just 8 months ago. Basically, like, you just got to be locked in for this one. And it's kind of a must win too if you want to get to where you have to go in the Big 12.
Ain't no kind of, bro. Must win.
Yeah,
Must win.
And you said you faced this team 8 months ago. I kind of think you faced this team twice already this season. Unfortunately, you're 0-2 in those games.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that's kind of what I saw from BYU is they want to run the ball, and that's going to be their plan A and plan B. You got to find a way to get them to plan C.
Yep. Speaking on the crowd, though, Coach Prime spoke on. He was asked about the students leaving the game. We'll get to it. Here's the clip, though. Here's what
Rare time where we disagree.
Here's what Coach Prime had to say about the students leaving the game early on Saturday.
You would love that to happen. Because when they're leaving, what does that mean?
Game's out of hand.
That means the game is over. They going to party. I'm cool with that. They're right down the corner. On what street is that down there? No, not Pearl Street. On the hill. That's where they at.
Yeah.
That's cool. I know where they at. So I don't mind them emptying. You got to understand it was family weekend as well.
Sure.
So a lot of the older family members probably said, "Okay, let's go home, honey," and they wanted to get out of there. But we're winning. That means we're winning. That means we're winning. I don't mind that.
Oh, Coach. Look, the family weekend excuse is as good as I've heard. It's as good as I've heard.
The best excuse that there is.
And I'm with Coach wanting to stay on. He and the students, they're on the same team, and he wants to keep it that way.
Facts.
But no. and I actually saw someone in the comments earlier. I want to say it was Melissa. Say like, I get what you're saying, but the pregame activities start way too early. Those kids aren't going home to go to bed because they're tired because they've been pre-gaming all day.
No.
They're going to keep partying. Look, I get it. I was in college once too, and I would have killed when I was in college to, one, have night games that were on ESPN, and two, have games that actually mattered rather than us just being blown out. And the reason everyone's leaving is because there's nothing to watch. There are times where a blowout is so out of hand that you could leave. You know,
it has to be like 28 plus, bro.
Yes. Yeah, I was going to say 4 scores, but maybe even more than that. 28 points or more, where it's just like, this thing's completely over.
Yep.
Nothing can happen. But the reason why I had such an issue with it on Saturday night was it took the energy out of the stadium, and then it looked like the team had a lot less energy. And then there was a time where, I don't know if everyone remembers this, it became a 10-point game.
Yep.
And that was just unnecessary. It was unnecessary, unforced error by our own fans.
I mean, Coach Prime talked about how he didn't like how the game ended.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so, look, if I was a football coach too, I would be like, yeah, I'm not blaming the students for
sure.
our team not having energy. That's on them. But I'm going to, because I was in the stadium and I felt there was just, it went from being a lit atmosphere in the first half to just being a game in the second half. And it felt like the team, not that they wanted to, but they lost a little bit of their energy as well.
Are we just talking out loud here? We're assuming that most of the people who left third quarter are students.
Well, it was from the student section.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it being family weekend did remind me that, like, during family weekend, there's all the parents in the student section too with their kids.
And that's what I was going to say. Like, I wonder if that's just a side effect from having an 8:15 game. Like, around 11 o'clock, people are like, all right,
like
we've seen enough here. Like, it's time to
parents
go.
are probably flying out on like Sunday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, if this was a 1 o'clock or 3:30 game and this was like, yes, you have everybody has every right to be pissed. Like, that's not okay. But I feel like that late at night, I can kind of give the benefit of the doubt where people are like, all right, this game is over.
You get one pass.
I agree. You get one. We see this again, we got a problem. But after one, I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt for right now.
Sure.
It's just, we can't talk about home field advantage and how great of a fan base we have and all that stuff and then be bailing on the team at halftime.
Valid.
True. All right, let's take our next break. Shout out to our friends over at Monarch Money. We love Monarch Money here at DNVR.
Sure do.
Because it makes it just super easy to track everything when it comes to your money, your expenses, investments accounts, credit cards. It's a great interface. It just shows you, it's super simple too. Again, exactly everything where it is, all those pesky subscription plans, all the money that keeps on, just wondrously leaving your checking account. Monarch Money helps you find that. It was named the best budgeting app of 2025 by the Wall Street Journal. It's also named one of Forbes' best apps for couples. And as you know, money issues can cause relationship issues. So take care of that. Get yourself on Monarch Money. Don't let this financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use code DNVR at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code DNVR.
And shout out to the squad, our good friends over at Breckenridge Brewery, man. Y'all know that we love our Breck beers here at DNVR. They always bring the vibes to our tailgates, our pregame tailgates. They're nothing without Breckenridge Brewery. At the bar as well, man. We got it all. And Breck Beer has it all for you. For any occasion, there's just no better way to catch a game than having some Breck Brew right there with you. They've been doing it for 33 plus years, y'all. And really, it all just comes down to their love and passion for making good beer. And speaking of good beer, that Avalanche Amber Ale is fire. That Mile High City, my favorite, the Fun Slinger, all so fire from Breck Brew. So check out the beer locator at breckbrew.com to find a brew near you. And shout out to Breckenridge Brewery.
I got one last thing to say about this.
Go ahead.
You get 7 of these a year.
That's exactly my point.
You get 7 of these a year, and if you're lucky, you get 5 years of college.
And this year's different, too. You're lucky you get a 7th. It's usually only 6.
6 to 7 of these a year. We're talking 30 to 35 games in your life when you get to be a student at the game. Like Chloe and Melissa and whoever you're trying to meet up with on the hill are going to be there tomorrow and Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. And then on Saturday, you're at the game. Or if you're going to meet up with Brad and Chad and Kaidon and Jaden and Braden, they'll be there. You get unlimited nights in college seemingly to go out. You only get 30 to 35 football games.
Facts.
Diallo mentioned a good one. First ever halftime drone show.
For sure.
At Folsom Field this weekend.
Yes. This is going to be an interesting one because my friends love to go into the field house at halftime. And, chit chat.
Right.
I usually just stay in the stands. We'll see if I can convince everyone to stay for the light show.
They got to.
Thoughts on the Gold Rush for this weekend?
Oh, that's what it is? I didn't even peep that. Is that what it is?
I'm pretty sure it is.
I think you're right.
You wore white last weekend, bro.
Yeah, I did. I don't know how many these theme games I had in me, bro.
I think you can do this last one. This is like the last one, I think, that really...
you only get a couple of these, bro.
Yeah, true.
I wish I had 0 themes other than just blackout every game. We'll see. I have a cool gold jersey. I'll think about wearing it.
Hell yeah. Last thing from Coach Prime today that we'll touch on. Obviously, we talked about this last week, the transfer portal changes. This is the first opportunity Coach Prime has been asked about it, and this is what he had to say about the reduction to 1 portal window.
We're going to go about our business like every other school did. It's the same rules for everyone, right? So we're going to get what we want. We always do. And when we don't get what we want, that means somebody offered more money. That's it. We're going to scout the players, and hopefully we get the type of guys that's not coming here to play for money. They come in here to play because they want to play for the Colorado Buffaloes, and they want to play up under this team and how we do things in the consistency that we're on television and all that comes with it. So it is what it is, man. As long as the playing field is level for everyone, I'm good. I have no complaints.
Thoughts?
I'm glad Matt asked the question because I definitely wanted to hear Coach Prime's thoughts on that kind of new news when it comes to obviously college football and the transfer portal. I'm not surprised by what he said there. I've obviously on record that I don't love the idea of eliminating the spring transfer portal. And my reasoning was that I feel like it impacts Colorado more than other programs that don't use the transfer portal as much as the Buffs do. But like I said, you heard Coach Prime there. He don't sound too worried about it. He still feels like they're going to get who they want. And the guys who they want are the guys who, want to play football at a high level. You want to learn from Hall of Famers, learn from an elite coaching staff, not the guys who are trying to get a bag or trying to chase a bag. So I feel like so far, those are the guys that they've attracted. Those are the guys that they got out of the transfer portal and out of the high school ranks. So, he doesn't sound too worried about it. I'm not surprised by his response there.
He also said what I was trying to tell you. I mean, they're all in the same rules, too.
Yeah.
And look, when it comes to Colorado and the transfer portal, those may be 10, 15 schools that I'd say, okay, you have a bit of an edge over Colorado.
Right.
So I fully expect that recruiting advantage to remain, even though it's only going to be technically 10 days that players can enter this offseason.
It's going to be insane 10 days.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
I just love the only reason we don't get somebody is because someone else offered him more money.
I mean,
did he lie?
kind of tell him a bit of the truth.
Yeah, and he's speaking to you, rich Buff alum, who can afford to help the program out. We need a little more. We need a little more cash. We don't have a Cody Campbell. Is that his name?
Yep.
We need you to send what you can so that we can get these guys. One last thing on the gold out. I'm on a delay today. My takes are taking a while to kick in. If we're going to do this, which I would recommend we don't, but if we are, it's on the school to be incredibly specific with the fans on what shade of gold they should be wearing. So release a package of gear,
yes,
whatever, and then like literally in your graphic talking about the gold out, put a block of the color that you want people to attempt to wear. Because the whole point of doing a blank out is so the whole stadium looks in unison.
Right.
But you've got someone in yellow gold, you've got someone in
Exactly.
Vegas gold, you've got someone in shiny gold. It doesn't look cool at all.
Yeah.
And I don't know how feasible this is, but they do it in like the NBA for the playoffs, right? I think of like OKC, where like there's like a theme, like they give you a
give the
shirt.
shirt,
Yeah,
yeah.
they give you a shirt, put it on everybody's seat, and I feel like that's another way to get people like, oh, I can get a free shirt if I go to this game. Like I feel like that's the way to go about
You're
it.
totally right. That's a better take than mine.
Yeah, I feel like that's the way to go about it. Get everybody a shirt. If you want a gold out, get everybody a gold shirt on their seat. You want a white out, get everybody a white shirt on their seat. And when they pull up, everybody puts it on, and you're in uniform.
Yes. Or save the money on all that and just do a blackout every game.
There you go. Sincere was also on the podium.
Last thing. The reason why they do that and they don't give the free shirts is because the whole thing is just a ploy to sell more gear.
Sure. Okay, that makes sense.
So at least just make it obvious for us what the color that we're trying to wear is.
For sure.
Sincere and Amari McNeil were on the podium. Feel free to jump in if you have quote, Scotty. Here's Sincere Brown.
Moss Jr.
Yeah, he spoke on that. He said that he and Kaidon have had a relationship going back before even Colorado. But he also said we trust each other more than ever. Just speaking on that touchdown. You have the Randy Moss quote.
Yeah, so I asked him about, we heard a few weeks ago where he talked to us right before the season, Sincere did, and he said he compares his game to Randy Moss. So, I asked him just about what it's been like to have, Randy Moss around the team for a couple of weeks now. He's kind of been a consistent presence in that building the last few weeks, or at least since the season started. And, Sincere, I'm just paraphrasing here, but he goes, I know it's an expectation you got to live up to when you compare yourself to somebody like Randy Moss. And he goes, when I go out there, people call him Moss Jr. So when he goes out there, he got to show them Moss Jr. And he also talked about if you compare yourself to Randy Moss, you got to be fast as hell. You can't just be tall and, be able to go up and get the ball. And from what we've seen, like that's the closest thing in college football to Randy Moss this year, as far as I'm concerned. That's Sincere Brown. And it's week in and week out. Obviously, didn't do much week one. Houston was obviously a bit of a week off, which is just a weird week for everybody offensively. But I love to hear that him and Kaidon are on the same page. They got a real rapport. And he also talked about the scramble drill a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Like that needs to be a weapon for this offense.
Yes.
With Kaidon's mobility and his ability to extend plays and wanting to keep his eyes downfield, that has to be a real weapon for this offense.
Yeah, he said when you're playing with a guy like Kaidon, you got to play to his strengths, and he likes to play to mine as well. So clearly that connection is – I mean, I think Kaidon has developed a good rapport with a lot of these wide receivers, but the Sincere one, Zach Atkins is pretty high up there, I think, too, but the Sincere one is – it's easily the best one so far.
The last step for Sincere, you want to be called Moss Jr., you got to start head tapping.
Moss and someone,
And he hasn't really gotten an opportunity to yet.
Nope.
So that's what I'm looking forward to. I know there's obviously 3 big catches down the sideline where he just outran his opponents. There's one shot in the Georgia Tech game that was out of his reach.
Yeah.
And then there was one this week that was short of his reach.
Correct.
So sooner than later, we're going to see one where he gets to go up in high point
Hell
football, and then the nickname will be completed because we saw it in training camp.
That catch he had on RJ was that was a Moss for sure.
Yep. Anything else from pressers?
Shout out to Amari McNeil. He was great on the podium today after a big game this past week. Down a couple bodies. We don't know if Tawfiq's probably not going to be back. Tawfiq Thomas, that is. BDS is probably not going to be back. They're already down Lightfoot, so they're a bit thin on that interior defensive line. And Amari's, obviously, him and Big Barnes are going to be very much counted on this week against a
Barnes
really
is
strong.
out for the first half, too.
It's another one. So it's going to be a little bit thin interior defensive line, but they got a big task to stop, BYU's rushing offense.
What were you saying?
I just felt like I thought Coach Prime sounded optimistic about BDS, or am I misremembering?
No, he was saying he's one of the ones I think that he's iffy.
I mean, he had a whole, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a cast or a brace on, his whole knee.
Yes, he did,
coming out last week,
game.
So that didn't really seem to me like a 1 week absence, but we'll see.
We will get an injury report this week, though, because it is a conference game. First one comes out on Thursday.
Tomorrow night. Wednesday night.
But we know that other schools in Utah don't care to follow the rules. So
yeah, Utah got in trouble. They released a statement because I guess Devin Dampierre was dealing with something. They never listed him on the injury report, and Utah defended themselves saying, well, he was never actually in jeopardy to miss the game, which defeats the purpose of what they're trying to do.
But Whittingham,
so that's why you list him as probable.
Yes.
Whittingham slipped up and said that he couldn't practice 1 or 2 days last week.
I mean, that's
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, you got to report that.
And the first one came out on Wednesday.
Yeah. Crazy.
Tweaking.
Coach Prime also spoke about that. He was asked about his thoughts on it.
He did.
That's for gambling.
He's right.
You were on that take too when this came
100%
out.
100% right.
It's the only reason why this is a thing. And guess what? People who lost money on Utah this week are probably really pissed about that.
Yeah.
Totally.
And I picked them in our pick'em, so now I'm pissed too.
Yeah, because if that comes out where, Dampierre's not 100%, I might have... A lot of people out there might have been like, that's enough to probably go with Tech here.
Sure.
But
speaking of picks, we did pretty well this weekend.
Another golden hammer for me.
You got a gold hammer? You got a gold hammer?
I did.
Who was
we
yours?
all ended up with
Miami, maybe?
Probably. I think it was, yeah.
But we all ended up with the same amount of points this week.
Okay.
Oh, look at us go.
Look at that.
Full points update on Thursday.
Okay.
Do we have a Taco Tuesday video today? Let's go ahead and play that. New stuff coming to Taco Bell this week.
Oh, yeah.
Here you go.
All right, Taco Tuesday. Here with my guy, Dre. We got the big box of grande nachos. It threw you off. You thought it was a Buffs box.
I was blown away. This is goated in the Simone household. Also, fun way to put it is grande box of big nachos. That's as if you're bilingual, you can flip those.
Trilingual over here. Can you say it in Italian for us?
I'm too confused. My brain's twisted in a pretzel right now.
All right, let's see what we got.
I'm gonna get some guac on this plate. You put hot sauce, which is your prerogative. I'm trying them as is first.
Yeah, that's hitting.
I mean, they're Taco Bell nachos.
Here's the thing about this, dude.
It's delish.
Football season,
Yeah.
you're going to watch a game
Yeah.
at your friend's house, grab a couple of these, bring them, sit down, boom. Game snacks taken care of.
Yeah.
You'll love to see it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Taco Bell. Just get a look at this. Look at the guac in there,
Yeah. No,
sour
this is,
cream, nacho cheese.
We call things grande all the time, and we misuse that term a lot. This applies.
It
This
is.
applies. It is a big nacho box. Can I try this?
Yeah, we've also got the vanilla cream soda freeze here. If you like the sound of that, you're going to love this. If you like vanilla and cream soda and frozen things,
That's delicious.
it absolutely
That's
sucks.
delicious. It's like a vanilla shake with a little to it.
Happy Taco Tuesday, my friends.
Bless you all.
Shout out Taco Bell, man.
Squad.
Great.
That looked fire.
Yeah, it
I'm going
was
to have to
great.
tap in with them nachos. I'm such a nacho guy.
Oh, you'll love it then.
Also, shout out to Taco Bell. RK and I went and got Buffs boxes after the game on Saturday.
For real.
Unbelievable decision, bro.
I would make the case, and I don't have the full depth of knowledge to make this case, but I'll do it anyway. I think the Taco Bell on Baseline in Broadway in Boulder is the best one in America.
Most locked in on the Buffs box for sure.
That's the best Buffs box I've ever had by far.
No questions about it too. They were just boom.
Yep.
Hell yeah, got you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Cool tweet here from Adam Schefter that just went out. 49ers had Shiloh Sanders in today for a workout.
Interesting.
Very, very interesting. Hope
Damn.
he gets that. Hope he gets a spot there.
Give him that Sanders 21 Niners jersey, and
Damn, we're back.
you'll pay for whatever you're paying.
No, for real.
All right, we had a big commitment today. It's crazy. We're 45 minutes into the show and we're just talking about this.
Yeah.
But Emanuel Ruffin has committed to Colorado after visiting for the game last weekend. This was a highly touted commit. I mean, top 200 player, 192nd overall, 2050 line in the class on the 247 Sports Composite. He was also being pursued by Alabama, LSU, Ohio State, and LSU and Ohio State in particular were recruiting him pretty hard, at least this summer.
Yeah.
Ruffin, we talked about him last week. He said he wanted to kind of take a step back, take more visits. Well, he comes up to Colorado and he's seen enough, it seems. And this is a game too where the Buffs, they did all right facing the run, but with some injuries in that run game, I mean, I'm sure he saw firsthand just, I could come in here immediately and kind of make an impact. Maybe a Brandon Davis-Swain type-ish impact. Obviously, the injury in Houston game withstanding. But
Yeah, this seemingly is a reflection of some serious recruiting momentum the Buffs have right now.
Definitely.
I think it could just be the first domino in at least one more coming right behind it. But this is great to see, and I try to never take for granted these moments because the longtime Buffs fans in the chat will know if you got a 4-star defensive line commit, that would have been the prize of the recruiting class. We would have, that would have been our lead topic today. That would have been everything. So
Definitely.
the high school recruiting is definitely leveled up this year. It's clear, and I think they're just getting started.
12 commits now in this class.
Yeah.
Also, to put it into context real quick, London Merritt. I mean, we all see the potential in him, and he was a great commit. 201st overall recruit in that class.
Wow.
So
What's Ruffin in this?
Emanuel Ruffin's
192.
192, so he's in that same area, if
Yeah.
not slightly higher touted.
This is a dog, man. From Bessemer, Alabama, too. They produce dogs.
Ooh.
You feel what I'm saying? 4-star defensive lineman. You mentioned the offers. Alabama, LSU, Ohio State. Tom Lloyd, 24/7 Sports, said he can essentially go anywhere he'd like. And he chose the Colorado Buffaloes. Just a couple
Same
of
with
days.
London Merritt.
Exactly right. Merritt was a former Ohio State commit. This is somebody who 2 days after checking out Boulder for a game day visit, say, I've seen enough.
I saw enough.
That's where I need to be.
Yep.
And Alyssa, do you have that tweet for the commits? I think I sent it. If not, it's all right. But you mentioned it. Up to 12 commits. This is the first defensive lineman commit. This class is really shaping up to be really nice. And it's early, but Ruffin might be at this point looking like the most highly touted guy, the most talented guy.
It's between him and Colton, I think, in terms of.
I think so. Him and Rodney Colton. 2 dogs. If you had a 4-star defensive lineman like Ruffin, a 4-star linebacker like Colton right behind him, Preston Ashley in the secondary, Maurice Williams Jr. in the secondary. This class is shaping up nicely, and like you kind of alluded to, RK, might not be the only recruiting news we get this week.
Yep.
So that'll be fun.
Updates. CU doesn't really move up the rankings here, but it does help out their average recruit ranking. They're one of 5 Big 12 teams to have an 88 or above in terms of that average. Texas Tech, BYU, Baylor, Colorado, and Houston.
That's great.
Just think about the young defensive linemen that are being added to this roster. You mentioned, obviously, London and Alex playing on the edge. BDS is a redshirt freshman breaking out this year. Adding a guy like Emanuel Ruffin. I'm forgetting, Christian Hudson, who they brought in last year in the interior defensive line.
McPherson.
I mentioned him at the top, him and Merritt. But, we'll probably get into it before the end of the show, but Mike Gundy is out of Oklahoma State. Tajay McCoy might be looking for a return trip back to Boulder. Who knows? I'm sure he'd be welcomed. But this
What the
young
hell happened there, man?
I don't know, man. Wild
That's crazy.
decision.
Yeah, I don't know.
All due respect to Tajay, but yeah. Yeah, you guys mentioned it. The Buffs have another target who's expected to pick his school tomorrow. That's Christian Ward. He's a highly ranked 3-star, man. 535th overall player, 79th wide receiver in the class. He's from IMG Academy. Who is it exactly? Is it between? I mean, he took officials to Michigan. I think Bama's been on him as well.
Yeah, Arizona State and Michigan and Bama are the three.
And Colorado. So that's who he's deciding between. We'll get an announcement tomorrow before the show as well. And then, I mean, Eric mentions it. Sedarian Morgan was also on campus again. And look, man, you said it. We said it when he committed. It wasn't goodbye. It was see you later.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, the Juju Lewis effect. Don't underestimate it.
Clearly,
when it comes to Sedarian Morgan, Christian Ward, former Carrollton teammates with Julian Lewis. So it's going to be interesting. And it could get real. And a big weekend of visitors on Saturday.
Yep.
I got that as well. At least 5 official visitors are scheduled for Saturday against BYU. All of them are committed to other programs, which is another interesting fact. But 4-star offensive lineman Javian Cooper committed to Syracuse. A couple of receivers. Brian Hamilton is committed to Pitt. Braden Allen's committed to Tulane. Another defensive lineman, Caleb Morris. We talked about him on the show. Mississippi State commit. And then a running back, Likey Tompkins, Louisville commit.
Yep.
All 5 of those guys are going to be
the
in Boulder this weekend.
IMG back, right?
Yes. Yep. Big weekend. And like you said, recruiting momentum is already picking up. A win on Saturday night against BYU in front of the crib is going to be even more up after that.
Let's go. And a full stadium from opening kickoff to final whistle.
Shout out to Steve Wiltfong as well. He had a massive article come out today. Lots and lots of names in that article.
Let's go.
Lots of them. All right, last thing before we get to the chat. Mike Gundy has been fired. Yeah, it's crazy. His first year at Oklahoma State, losing season, goes on to have, 19 straight winning seasons, competing for Big 12 titles, playoff appearances. I mean, they were, 2 yards away from a CFP berth 2 years ago?
Yep.
2 years ago, they were in the Big 12 title game, bro.
Yeah, and they were 2 yards away from winning that
And
to
they
go.
were picked by the media, I think, to win the conference last year.
Yes, they were.
And I think the year before that, they had got to 10 wins again. Like, that's crazy how quickly things change in college
and
football.
They went under a complete philosophy shift this offseason, too, hitting the portal a lot harder. I think they had something like 40, 50 new players. Gundy made a lot of changes to his coaching staff, but it wasn't enough. And after, who'd they even play? Tulsa.
Tulsa on Friday night.
He was to Tulsa at home?
Bro,
Sheesh,
Losing
man.
the
Tulsa-
in-state little brother.
I was texting you guys during the game. I don't know if you guys were watching when I was, but
Yeah.
I was like, Tulsa is dominating Oklahoma State in the trenches.
Yep.
Both sides of the ball.
Damn, Rico, did I? I think I might have actually. Rico says Scotty called it. I think I might have actually said that in one of our preseason take videos. Like,
Gundy first coach out.
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to have to go see if I can dig that back up.
Well, best mullet in the conference is now up for grabs.
They just ain't seen yours yet, bro.
But things are going to get interesting on the coaching carousel this season. I've seen a lot of people talk about it, how there's clearly a lot of pressure on these power forward jobs, just with all the money being spent nowadays and how the sport is changing. And, you look around, there's a lot of, I guess, G6 coaches now who are really impressing, making an impact. New Mexico's head coach. Jeff Traylor's still at UTSA. They just beat Colorado State. Like, there's a lot of programs like that. We're going to see... It's going to, I don't know if this is a bold prediction, but you're going to see like a lot of like shifting landscapes in terms of head coaches this offseason because of what's going on. There's a lot of guys under pressure, and you just saw Gundy get fired. You had 2 head coaches get fired last week.
Yeah.
Like, it's different now.
Who was fired last week?
Brent Pry and Deshaun Foster.
Right.
Virginia Tech and UCLA.
And I mean, yeah, I think the firings will come faster now that there's so much money invested into these rosters. And with Gundy, I think like, it's just impossible, especially in a sport like college football, to just be with the times like forever.
Yeah.
Your time comes, and his time came where the game passed him by.
Yep.
No doubt. And something else that comes to my mind when I think of Gundy in this situation, if you don't have a quarterback, bruh, you are on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Pretty much. If you don't have a quarterback. And I think Gundy, they stuck with Alan Bowman too long. Mm-hmm. And they didn't have a succession plan clearly.
But didn't they have a sick freshman?
And he got up out of there.
He got hurt.
No, I think he
someone
left.
too.
The one who started against Colorado last year in that game, I think he ended up leaving.
I think that they had a guy in week 1 who was going crazy.
Wasn't it the Hejny guy?
Yes.
Did he get hurt? Yeah.
Yes, and then he got hurt. But
yeah, I mean,
still,
there it is.
You're right.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is it used to be really easy to not have a quarterback in college football.
You're right.
Because they're just, the transfer portal wasn't as much. Now it's just like you can just go down to the lower levels, find someone who's balling out, give them a bunch of money, and you have a quarterback. So there really isn't much excuse for it anymore.
Nope.
But we'll see. Portal's now open for Oklahoma State players.
Y'all think he's done coaching?
Oh yeah,
Gotta be.
I think I saw
anyone's gonna want him. Honestly,
he's 58, which was kind of surprising. I know, isn't that surprising?
Well,
Whoa.
Yesterday I think was the 20-year anniversary of I'm a man. I'm 40.
So that was in year 2 for him? Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, I mean, wow, that's crazy. He's 58.
That surprised me because I would have guessed at least 65. But it's like, I don't know. I don't know if he's done.
There's a lot that comes with Mike Gundy, though.
There sure
Undoubtedly.
is. Which is what I was just about to say. If he continues coaching, I bet it will be in the state of Oklahoma.
I can see that. Somebody mentioned, I think it was Cam, too. It's crazy that McPherson was committed to Oklahoma State.
That is true, yeah.
It's crazy.
So you trade Tajay for Alex?
I mean,
you
get another 2 years with Alex, too.
Yeah.
So
Very much won that
shout
trade.
out Tajay, though. He's a hell of a player.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's go to the chat. Only a few today. One time, Oliver Wright says, can Tajay McCoy come back if he hit the portal? Sure.
Just not immediate.
Right, yeah.
It would be for next year.
Right.
God, that's another reason why maybe you just wait one more week to do it because of the 4-game rule.
To enter the portal, you mean? Oh,
Fire
to
Gundy. Now your whole team has the opportunity. Are they even going to be able to field the team next week?
Right.
Yeah, but wouldn't it leave a worse taste in your mouth if they did it to you after 5 games and they kind of trapped you in there type of thing? Like, oh, we just took away the opportunity for you to redshirt and we just fired the coach. Like, I feel like that'd piss off more players as opposed to what just happened.
That's true. And they can just enter the portal at the end of the year anyway.
Yeah,
that's fair. Speaking of, I did a little digging today just to see if there were any of those situations at CU. Not to say there isn't, but from who I talked to, there wasn't. So last year, you had Trevor Woods and Jeremiah Brown enter the portal at this time of year. Jeremiah Brown, of course, came back. Trevor Woods did not. Around the country, it's happening in a lot of places.
Yep.
So far, it doesn't sound like it's happening at CU.
Yep. Oklahoma State's also had they've had a few high-profile decommitments for the 2026 class. They had a running back. I think Mizzou's already on him, though, I saw.
He posted a bit. This is Kaidon Batman Jones, was committed to Oklahoma State, just decommitted.
Yeah.
Back in January. Y'all know who visited him at his high school?
Box?
Pat Shermer.
Really?
Pat Shermer. So keep an eye on Kaidon Batman Jones.
Batman Jones. Sick.
For real.
I was thinking about a different player with Mizzou, I think. Moneyline Mateer's hurt, too.
That
Thoughts?
sucks, man.
It does suck.
They were rolling. That was a top 10 team.
Yeah.
And now
Rolling.
it's just Mateers rolling on their faces.
But they did say it was a broken bone in his throwing hand. They are slightly optimistic, it feels like, for Texas.
They got to have a good backup quarterback at Oklahoma.
Broken bone in the hand, and they think he's optimistic he's playing 2 weeks.
That's the report.
Didn't they say he had surgery too?
Yeah.
That's
I mean, that was the optimistic timeline as we get him back for the Red River rivalry, and then, hopefully he's good. But, I mean, yeah, if you have surgery for a broken hand, it's going to take some time.
you would think.
Yeah, this is a weird thing about the current state of college football that I don't like. Is I just loved Mateer always, but then you just go to somewhere like Oklahoma and I just don't like you anymore.
Yeah.
So he's at San Jose State balling out, and that's what and there in Wazoo you moneyline Mateer because you take him as an underdog. So you're like, this guy's gonna make some plays.
Right.
And you go to somewhere like Oklahoma and it's oh, this isn't nearly as fun anymore.
Dud asks if Wiggins is hurt. No idea. We get an injury report tonight, though.
Was he the one who we said we saw him line up on the interior on Saturday, which was kind of new, which was
that
cool.
First drive.
Yeah.
First defensive drive for Colorado. If you look at what they were throwing out on the front, it was Tavion Coleman was the only true defensive lineman on the field.
Right.
And then it was Arden, Quincy, and Keaton.
Yeah.
With Quincy kind of playing hand in the dirt, 3-tech-ish type of stuff.
Which is cool. I mean, I will say he did play. Quincy played a season low snaps on Saturday, just 11. But as we're talking about Alexander McPherson getting more playing time and London Mayer getting more playing time, somebody got to get less if they're getting more. And I think that's just what we've seen from Quincy the last couple of weeks.
And Sam's potentially coming back sooner rather than later too. So yeah.
One of my big takeaways from rewatching the game was Arden Walker was unbelievable.
He went off, bro.
I mean, we saw I think he was credited with 1.5 sacks. He gets the safety. That's like the headline stuff. That's like, oh yeah, he's obviously one of the players of the game. Then you rewatch the film and it's just like he's just in the right place.
That
damn
PBU?
Near every play. Yeah.
Yeah.
PBU, he's forcing the back, back inside on stretch stuff. Like it was just one thing after another. It was like, oh, there's Arden Walker in the middle of the play, just doing his job.
Yep.
Definitely.
Anything else, gentlemen?
I think that's it, brother.
Alrighty, chat. Hit that like button on the way out. Same time, same place tomorrow. See you then. Let's go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.